What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dad's Expensive Hobby.
What's up?
Today we are taking a look at the SH Figuarts Katsuki Bakugo, the Great Explosion Murder God Dynamite action figure from My Hero Academia. I hope I said his name right. I'm not familiar with this figure, the character, or the source material at all. I was just at Best Buy earlier this evening, happened to look over and see this figure and thought he looked freaking awesome, so I went ahead and picked him up. This is going to be kind of new for me. I haven't really reviewed any other SH Figuarts from any other lines other than Dragon Ball Z, but the box looks pretty cool, you know, similar window that I'm used to seeing, and an image of the product on the front. And the back looks pretty good. I think maybe they've reused the same picture, or at least the face, a couple of different times, but they utilize the space pretty well. But anyways, that's enough about this package. Let's get him out of the package and take a closer look at him. All right. Man, this thing looks fucking awesome. Let's see how tall he is really quick, and then we will look at him. To the top of his hair, he is just north of 6 inches, just north of 6 inches, which would make the entire figure in centimeters, right at 15 centimeters. I don't know anything about the character, so I'm going to assume that's okay. You know, Bandai, you know, SH figures usually aren't too far off. Anyways, let's look at his aesthetic, because he looks really friggin' cool. Nice hair, nice matte fit. Let me just first and foremost say, nice, great matte finish all over this figure. He looks super premium. This figure looks fantastic. The hair, his hair looks really cool. I know this is an anime, so I'm not going to complain that there's not like a wash or something in the hair, but just being me, you know, it would be cool if there was a wash in the hair, but there's not, but it still looks really nice. This face plate right here, that's kind of hidden by this little Bane mask or whatever this is, the collar kind of thing, but the face plate looks really nice. These things right here, they're accessories, and we'll talk more about them here in a minute, but they just like port into the back of his head. Fans of the show, tell me, what is that exactly? I'm not really sure, but it looks kind of cool. This thing around his neck, this collar is really nice. This gunmetal look on these things right here looks really good. Paint is done, and the finish looks really cool, and whatever these are, that looks really awesome. Red paint on the chest is done well. Red paint around the arms looks pretty good. There's one or two spots where it could maybe use another coat, but unless you're really like trying to be nitpicky like me, you would not notice it. His little belt is floaty and it looks really cool. And these grenades right here are neat because they're mobile and you can even take them off there if you want. And I think that's really cool. Now here, let's talk about the part that caught my eye. He's got fucking grenades for forearms. Fuck yeah! I think that's awesome as hell. I don't know anything about him, but I'm gonna have to like watch an episode of this show or something, because grenade forearms, or gauntlets is what they probably are, is really friggin' cool. That is awesome. You know, fist hands on him looks good. Paint on him looks pretty good. There's not any paint on these grenades, but they have a really nice finish on them. They're done really well. Paint on his pants looks good. Got awesome little accessories, or not accessories really, but you know, little accoutrements on the pants, and that looks cool. His knees look really cool with those little kneecap pad kind of things. The gunmetal used on those is really nice, and the paint's done well. Paint's done well on the boots. Boots look really cool. Great sculpt on this thing. Nice wrinkling in the clothes right here on the back of the figure and on the front of the figure, like in the abdomen, you know, that looks really awesome. One thing I did catch that Bandai sometimes does is these stupid little stamps on the backs of the figures.
What the fuck is that?
That just drives me nuts. Luckily, it's really faint, and he's got black on, and it's in like a dark gray, and you really can't see it, so I'm not going to screw him too bad on his score. But it is there, and that's annoying. I wish they would just not do that. This little port right here on the back, I did some research real quick off camera, and that is actually for an accessory pack that can be purchased separately. I think that's kind of shitty, but I get it. They got to make money or whatever. But that's what that's for, is for an accessory pack. I think it's kind of expensive. But anyways, his aesthetic is awesome. He's nice and lean and stuff. Looks really good. Arm length is good. Leg length looks good. Let's take a look at his accessories, because he comes with a sweet ass bunch of stuff. Like I said, these little wing things, or like, I don't know, explosion effect type of things that are coming off the back of his head, they just port into the back of his head, and they are actually articulable. You can twist them and move them around because they're just a little ball that plugs in there, and that's pretty cool. He comes with 2 separate head sculpts. He comes with this one on him in the package and 4 face plates for it. And you can see this serious face right here. But he also has 3 other ones. Let's take a look at them real quick. He's got like this mouth open yelling face right here. And it looks pretty, oh God, maybe if I put it up in the camera, this mouth open face right here with the mask on it, and that looks pretty good. He's got another mouth open yelling face, which is the exact same face, but there's like bloodshot in his eyes. I'm going to assume that is to signify something on the show. Like I said, I've never watched it before. Somebody that knows more about that, tell me, but it looks good anyway. And he's got this kind of cheesing face where he's kind of grinning right here, and it looks pretty good as well. He's got this other head sculpt right here that does not have the places to port those little effect pieces into the back of it, and I just didn't put the bangs on it, but you kind of get the drift. And this head sculpt looks pretty good too, and it comes with a face that does not have the like Batman and Robin mask on it, and this is just a serious face right here, and it looks good enough as well. He also comes with 8 hands. Got these 2 fist hands on him in the package, and they're just fist hands. They look pretty cool, got some nice detail, and they're painted well. Whoops. It's got these like two open hands. They're kind of grabby hands, and they're sculpted and painted pretty well. They look like they're like he's wearing gloves, and they look pretty good. It's got these 2 like more wide open hands right here, and I like the look of these really well. They look nice. And it comes with 2 hands that are very similar to those kind of grabby hands that we looked at first, but these come with peg holes for these 2 really nice looking blast effect like things right here. They're like a transparent orange translucent plastic right here, and there's a little bit of like milky shading in there to kind of make it look like I'm gonna guess like blasting kind of look, and they look really, really cool. And they just port onto the hand like that, and I will put one on his hand real quick, or on his arm, excuse me, and show you what that looks like, because I think that looks really neat. Wow, these gauntlets kind of move around. Bear with me a second. And that's what it looks like. And I think that looks really, really neat. That is a cool set of accessories right there, in my opinion. Now, this figure is not cheap, which I kind of at first hesitated to buy it, because he's a little expensive. This guy is $80.
Are you serious?
So he's not, some budget release or whatever. Me being a big fan of Dragon Ball figures, I was a little spoiled by the $35 releases. But this guy is $80. But so far, he's really holding up. His accessory spread is pretty decent. Let's compare him to some other figures real quick so you can kind of get an idea of his scale. Let's stand him next to the Dragon Ball Daima from SH Figuarts Goku right here. And him and Goku head to head are about the same height. Goku's hair is a little bit taller, but so that's kind of how he scales up there. Let's stand him next to the SH Figuarts Daima Vegeta, and he towers over Vegeta, and he should, because Vegeta is a short king. And for another like 6.5 inch line, here he is next to the Marvel Legends Boxers Deadpool, and Deadpool is taller, but that kind of gives you a look right there. Let's take a look at his articulation, because this guy moves really well too. We'll start with his head. We can tell by looking that we know that the neck, head and neck articulation is going to be a little, limited because of the design of the figure. But his head will look down really well into that. I'm going to assume maybe this is like a collar mask kind of a deal right there. And it'll look up a little bit. His hair sculpt will get caught on that, but that's to be expected. And you can tell it gets a lot of nuance, and that's because he's on a double ball peg.
Oh, hallelujah.
I love it, and it's fairly decently, executed double ball peg. Ball peg probably, the ball could be a little bit bigger, but if you can see down in here, this neck moves everywhere. So this guy is chocked full of articulation points, at least in the head and neck, and I really, really like that. It's not the figure's fault that, it's just the design of the character, and it's not really SH Figuarts or Bandai's or whoever's fault either. He moves really well. I have no problem with how he moves. And this piece right here is just kind of a floaty piece that's kind of on the neck. If you wanted to pop the neck off, you could probably take it off, but I don't recommend it. I'm not somebody brave enough to do that. Shoulders, way up over his head. They work really, really good. And of course, you get a full rotation out of them. He has a butterfly joint that functions really well. Look how far across him that'll go. and it opens up, and in the back, not gappy. The colors match really well. I really, really like it. You could absolutely cross his arms over him in front of him. That is a really nice butterfly joint. I really, really like that. He's got a bicep swivel that works just like a bicep swivel. Double jointed elbow. You're going to get slightly past 90, but he's got, friggin' grenades for forearms, so they're not going to go, the craziest range of motion. And the elbow looks pretty good. The wrists down here, they're on a ball hinge, just like any other SH Figuarts is for the most part. His diaphragm, he's got a diaphragm brake right here. That's neutral. Just on the diaphragm, he can crunch forward that little bit past that, about that far, which is really nice. Little bit of gap in the back, but that's going to happen when you have a nice range of motion. And you can lean him back that far, but you do get some gapping right there.
Fuck.
I've complained in the past about gapping, but it looks like, with really good, that kind of ball, it's like a ball peg, but with on a hinge right there, you're going to get that, but it's still really nice range of motion. You do get some tilt and lean, and you can twist on that. There's also a ball peg down here in the waist, and you can get all kinds of nuance. So you add it together, and you got a really nicely flexible action figure. This guy's articulation is really good, but you don't really get any twist here at the waist. You get a little bit, but not a bunch. Most of your twisting action is going to come from up here in the diaphragm brake. And like I said, this belt right here, this whole thing right here is kind of floaty. It's like the belt and around it through here into the crotch. I'm not really sure what the thinking was behind that, but it's not hindering anything, so I'm not going to complain about it. But if you can see that is all it's like a diaper piece or something, and it all moves as one. These grenades move around, so I'm going to actually count them as an accessory, because they can move around, and you could take them off, and I'm sure you could probably put them in his hands up there. That is really neat. Look at those. Those are the cutest little things ever, and I think that's really, really awesome. I guess this guy makes things explode or something, since he's like explosion god or something. Legs, nice split. I don't know if he's a martial artist, but I mean, he moves like one, so that's really, really awesome. Front kick is very good. They didn't give him any Katsuki booty, so he can kick back, so you can go splits in any direction, anything you're wanting to do. So I really, really like that. Thigh swivel, double jointed knee with tons of range, great proportions, and that knee looks good. I like that a lot. He has a shin swivel right there, hidden beautifully by the boot and the cuff of the pants. His ankle is an actual hinge. It's not a ball hinge. It is a hinge. And look here. They cut out room to give us range of motion. And look how much range of motion we get. Pretty darn good. And it'll go all the way down. Give us a nice ankle rocker. And this guy's toe hinge is pretty darn good. It's nice and tight. It looks nice. The break of it is right there in through the what you would call it, the pattern of the bottom of the boot. That is really good. I really, really like that. Overall, this figure, I bought it based off of its aesthetics. This thing has exceeded my expectations. This is a pretty darn good action figure. Final verdict for him. I am going to give this figure, he's $80. I'm going to give him a very solid B+. This is a really darn good figure. He's just a little expensive. If he was more like $60, $65, he would probably be an A. But at $80, I have to hold the paint against him a little bit, and the lack of a stand, and the gapping in the abdomen. But B, very strong B+. An argument could be made for A-, whichever one you want. B+, A-, somewhere in there. Very strong figure. But that's all I've got for Katsuki from My Hero Academia here. If you have not subscribed, pause the video, scroll down, give us a like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And with all that said, this has been Dad with Dad's Expensive Hobby, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.